information that I find clients encounter or people bring to me quite often. It's intended to be very short and simple, but to something significant. And today's tip is to explain why men are getting equal physical custody today. And that means when I say equal physical custody, I'm talking more about parenting time, because they generally will share legal custody. And I don't want to get into the different types of custody because there's many of them. But what I'm talking about today is the parenting schedule, like the overnights and things like that. And I think there's three reasons that are leading men to have and receive equal custody, equal physical custody more than they ever have in the past. First is that they're asking for it more than they ever have historically. I think part of the reason people didn't ask historically is, depending on how far back in time you want to go, men were predominantly the breadwinners and women were the stay-at-home caregivers, and that has changed significantly so that men are now able to parent. They have more time available, and they're also aware that other people are starting to get it. They see it in the media, they see it on social media. So it's causing a lot more people to ask for it, at least in my experience, than I've ever seen in the past. Two, the law has always said that that's really what's supposed to be the case, but it doesn't spell it out that way, at least in New Jersey. The law in New Jersey says that both parents should have as much time as possible. Now, that's currently being construed to be equal time. In the past, it was construed that the breadwinner was working more and had less time. So when the statute would speak about as much time as possible, that would be what was possible, because he or she, or usually the father, didn't have as much time as possible. So that has shifted. The interpretation of the statute is now broader. And lastly, there's a psychological belief that always runs through, at least in New Jersey courts, that has shifted. In the past, it was what was called the tender years doctrine, which said in a nutshell that children of a young age or of a tender year were best served by being in the care of their mother. That has now changed, and the psychological belief that is being promoted through the courts and to the judges is that a child is benefited by having as much contact with both parents as possible. And that will also quickly explain on a separate topic as to why a lot of people will go into court with a parent that they feel is not a very good person. They may have committed crimes in the past, they may have committed domestic violence on the other parent, and they're still getting equal parenting time even when they haven't had contact in some cases. And the other parent is usually astonished by that fact. And it goes to this reason that even though the person may not be the best person and may have done bad things in the past, the child is believed to be best served by having both parents involved as much as possible. So the court is going to involve this person even if he has done bad things in the past. So that is why I believe that men or fathers, men, are receiving equal custody greater than they ever have in the past. If you find this information helpful, I'd appreciate if you'd like the video and share it so that other people can see it. You might also want to subscribe to my page so you'll get notice when I do these more often and more easily. If you have any questions, you can call me at 973-562-0100, schedule a consultation, or go to my YouTube page, which you may be watching this on. It might be on my Twitter page, I'm not sure, or even my Facebook over here. But my YouTube page has a lot of information, a lot of videos on this and other topics. So with that, I wish you a good night, and I will see you